By sharing some of this information with you, I am in the process of violating my national security oath. The planet Earth is and has been the subject of an extensive, detailed study by several extraterrestrial civilizations. The human race is a hybrid. We were seeded here, and we have had an intimate interrelationship with high technology, advanced intelligence for hundreds of thousands of years. It hasn't stopped. They are still involved. I'm not trying to frighten you, but I'm trying to say to you that in the next very few short years, you're going to be experiencing things that are going to literally change your life in ways you have never dreamed or imagined, and you better be ready for it.
So let's discuss the difference between real UFOs and fake UFOs. All right. Now, recently, the media has been pushing this whole UFO thing. Obviously, the balloon was the first thing that was shot down. And then, obviously, about 4 other UFOs or UAPs were shot down. Okay. Now, clearly, we know that those aren't extraterrestrials piloting those. I know extraterrestrials exist. We all know that these we ain't the only ones here. If you don't know that, then you need to research a lot more. We're not the only ones in this universe, obviously. All right. Nonetheless, those were humans piloting those UFOs. All right. Let's really break it down. Now, the ships you see right here are aerodynamically designed for the atmosphere on planet Earth. We know that this is the heaviest density, being the 3rd density. All right. Clearly, these ships right here were something that were designed, reverse engineered. Okay, so Area 51 basically stands for Alien Reverse Engineering Association. That's what the area stands for. The acronym is Alien Reverse Engineering Association. All right. So when Area 51 first transpired, they did actually at one point get their hands on some extraterrestrial technology. Roswell, that wasn't a hoax. That was real. They spoke with a Zeta Reticulan by the name of Krill. All right. And this extraterrestrial actually did speak with them. Now, the Zeta Reticulans have the ability to communicate or control bioengineered grays. All right. That are basically like robotic cloned extraterrestrials, but they're not. They don't have a soul. OK, basically. Sometimes the bioengineered ones even be operating certain ships, but they even fly more sophisticated ships because they're still being mentally controlled by the Zeta Reticulans. All right. They're still being mentally controlled by the taller grays. Now, the taller grays they're not small. Like the real small ones are the ones that's bioengineered, but the other Zeta Reticulans stand about 7 feet tall. These are the ones that kind of look like this. Okay, they're taller. All right. These are the ones that mentally control the smaller ones. All right. They have a mental control over like about 60 to 100 of the small ones, where they can mentally control where they're going and everything like that, where they coming and going. These beings are super intelligent. They're highly intelligent beings. Generally, they operate light ships. Okay. The real level 5 civilization ETs, their ships are going to be spherical, almost like lights. Almost like stars. Some of the stars you think you see that are just sitting there be actual spacecrafts. All right. That's how the real UAPs and UFOs look. They're like that. And they have the ability of operating what we call tetrahedron technology, where they could teleport through portals and gateways. People say, how can they get through the firmament? They created the firmament. So they have the ability of traveling and traversing through interstellar gateways and portals.
Check it out, family. This is a real live female gray that crashed her UFO ship, and they were able to extract it. You know, they send out the men in black to grab these objects and see what's going on in these objects, and then they reverse engineer the spacecrafts. But they were able to extract it from the ship, and wow, look at that forehead, boy. That is definitely another dimension, boy. And you know, they're doing what they do, which is experimenting on their ancestors. See? Look at that. Very interesting. Look at it. So TikTok keeps deleting my posts. Do me a favor. Click that Instagram icon right there and keep up with me on Instagram and YouTube. I get real slizzy with these lizzies on there. All right, let's get it.
Back when it all started, the reptilians came into this solar system many thousands of years ago. And there were already humans dwelling on a planet called Maldek, which was a huge planet between Mars and Jupiter. There was a human civilization there. And also there were humans on Mars when the reptilians arrived, but there were no humans on Earth. They came in here, they destroyed Maldek. Maldek then became the asteroid belt, which we now know as the asteroid belt. And as they went by Mars, they stripped a lot of the air from the surface of the planet, and the humans on Mars had to go underground at that point. All of this was quite a long time ago. Basically, they took this planet and they towed another planet from a distant part of the solar system, the universe, to become our moon. They brought it here, and that's how the moon got here. And then they dried out our planet. They dried out Earth, which we call Earth now. And when they did that, two continents emerged from under the water. One was Lemuria, and one was what we now call Atlantis. And they built a civilization on Lemuria. There were no humans here at that point. When they destroyed Maldek, the Federation, which was a federation of human civilizations throughout the galaxy, and it was formed really after the reptilians had slaughtered 50 million humans in Lyra and destroyed 3 planets. It was that was the event that triggered the creation of the Federation. It was basically the humans were fighting back, and there were about 100 human civilizations that became part of the Federation way back. It has since grown to well over 1,000, many more. And the Federation now has technology that matches the reptilians. So anything they can do, we can now do. They refused to let them have this planet. And they sent a very fierce race of humans from Lyra to Earth, and they took over what we call Atlantis. They were known as the Atlans, and so that became Atlantis. And then the wars began between the humans and the reptilians at that point, which was roughly right around 50,000 years ago.
Okay.
That was the only human race on this planet, was the one that came here from Lyra, and then from Mars. And they immediately started destroying the dinosaurs, which were brought here by the reptilians. And they started weakening the foundations of the Lemurian continent. Eventually, they were able to sink the whole continent with electromagnetic weaponry. And Lemuria went down. You can find stories about Lemuria in books about Mu, and certain writers. But the reptilians were not fazed by that. They simply went underground, which they do in many, many other planets, and built an underground civilization here, 20 to 100 miles below the surface. Very high tech, and they still have the capability of going in and out through various portals, and they established their capital city under the Tibetan continent. And they've been down there ever since, and we've been up here ever since. But the human race started to expand, started to develop, and grow, and now we're at 7 billion. So what they do is they basically manage us from down there, and they keep us from getting the technologies we really need to expand. And they control us, and you can read all about that in all the books by David Icke. He's written many. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
And so he's probably the best writer on the reptilian situation.
We come from Sirius X Xylanthe, which sits in the center of the universe. You know, pure dark matter energy. When you close your eyes, you're in the center of the universe. Anytime you surround yourself in darkness, you're in the center of the universe. You go in the bathroom and cut the lights off, and when it's dark, it's complete darkness where you can't even see your hand, you're in the center of the universe. Anytime you surround yourself in complete darkness, you're in the center of the universe. So you got to remember, I am the center of the universe, so I shouldn't move. Everything comes to me. You know, you don't move. You the center. Everything you attract everything to you. You don't got to move. You the center. If you move, everything gonna crumble. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. They got you chasing shit. And you wonder why your universe crumbling. You the center, stay still and let it and bring it to you. You ain't gotta want for nothing. You ain't gotta chase nothing. You made everything. But if you don't know that, then you chasing everything. When you realize that you the center of the universe, I am the center of the universe. You know what I'm saying? When you close your eyes right now, you're in the center. I can't see no hands. I don't even see y'all. I don't even see y'all. You know what I'm saying? My eyes, I'm in pure darkness. So all these things are now, I open my eyes, look, I'm at a park. It's a gate. It's bodies. But when I close my eyes, y'all are my world. If don't nobody say nothing, I don't hear nothing. I'm only connected to this physical world through my senses. So it's really not real. How can I just close my eyes and I don't see nobody no more? If y'all was real, y'all are all a part of my mind. Every single one of y'all, everything around me has came from me. Everything around you has came from you. Like everything, I am you and you are me, that's a real thing. So when I leave this realm, everything gonna come with me. You take your thoughts with you, everything. So that means all of y'all come with me. You know what I'm saying? The planet come with everything I seen come with me. You close your eyes, everything, every person you ever knew, all that go with you because it was all shit that you created in your mind. That's why you close your eyes, you don't even see it no more. You just literally, boom. What happened to the park? That quick. You know, that quick. There you go. Close your eyes. Where'd the park go? Open them up. Now you at a park. And is this a park? Or was there somebody that hated your ancestors tell you this was a park? Is that really a tree? Or did somebody that hated your ancestors told you that was a tree? Is this really concrete? You see what I'm saying? Or did somebody that hated your ancestors tell you it was concrete? You don't know if you don't know what's real. All you know is when you open your eyes, you see a bunch of shit. And when you close your eyes, it's gone. So you need that in itself tells you about your existence is everything. I am the center of the universe.
All right, Rashad,
everything comes to me.
To Tampa Bay residents. The incident occurred last week and Tampa residents claimed that there was an alien invasion occurring after they witnessed several objects moving through the clouds. The video went viral and even made it on the national news. Except, the news headline was kind of embarrassing.
Ah, pronto, chegaram do Brasil.
My humanity is my greatest shame. I will not help those who have destroyed this planet and its natural resources. Humans are hypocrites. Even if we wanted to live side by side with you, couldn't. Because you're too selfish to share. You won't even open your doors to your own kind in a moment of need. Why would we think you would welcome us? It's our turn now. Our people will restore balance, create a new world. Humanity's had its chance. Goodbye, Mrs. Eisenhower.
This is the Anunnaki Codex and culture. Let's get into it. The Anunnaki is the strongest of the human gene pool because of their melanin, hair, body, and gene makeup. Melanin has a certain power to it which all humanoid species in the galaxy know of, and this is what the Anunnaki hold very dear to themselves. Even governments on Earth label melanin worth more than gold. This physique was created by mixing a bunch of different extraterrestrials to create a ruling class to create peace in the Sirian star system. Mixing reptilian, humanoid, and a bunch of different extraterrestrial races to create a ruling class and unite all the races under one rule. This created dark-skinned beings now known as the Anunnaki, which have something called etheric hair and strength on all levels, able to withstand basically anything. Harsh environmental circumstances, physical abuse, emotional trauma, this is basically the power gene. Also having the gene makeup to create all the different extraterrestrial species and even all the races on this planet. Look at the black woman and how she could procreate all the different races on this planet right now. They settled on a planet called Nibiru and came to Earth in search of gold for their advanced technology. They live with the understanding that their genes are royal and their genes give them power because it has the makeup of all the different species and races. This has created the notion in the galaxy that black means royalty. Anunnaki culture is known to be very royal because they were made to be rulers, and their society is made up of a mix of positive and negative individuals, and this was highly prevalent when they came to Earth and created humans as a slave race through genetic manipulation. Many within their civilization did not agree with this, and this is why they were in trouble by the Galactic Federation. They want humans to know that black is power. Humans have fought amongst themselves for hundreds of years related to race, but no matter what, the Anunnaki gene holds the blueprint of all species in the galaxy and all human variations on Earth. They want black humans and Anunnaki starseeds to know that they are powerful and not to see themselves as better or worse than anybody else, but to just understand their power.
You and everyone that believes in this theory has a lot of explaining to do. Point number one, how could all of the races of the earth evolved from the African, right? If all non-Africans have Neanderthal DNA and we don't produce that strand of DNA ourselves, so they do not inherit that from us. Point number two, it has been a common belief in theory that has been proven to be false that the Homo sapiens started evolving the light-skinned gene around 40,000 years ago, but yet they couldn't produce one Caucasoid past the age of 7,000 years ago. Even as recently as 8,500 years ago, everyone on the planet was still black. As recently as 8,500 years ago. You're now going to have to explain how everyone was black just 8,500 years ago, and the oldest trace of the light-skinned gene doesn't go further than 7,000 years ago. How over the course of just 1,500 years did the African evolve that drastically and that fast, and then on top of that inherit a strand of Neanderthal genetics that we don't produce ourselves? How is that possible? Explain that one. And then to add on, not only is the Neanderthal strand not native to the African gene pool, but nowadays Africans do have Neanderthal DNA because of European and Arab colonization, because they had their way with our women. So they have taken those animal genetics and have now infiltrated them into our gene pool. And yes, it is true that the mitochondrial Eve gene can produce multiple different shades of color, but that only stops at black people. We can produce multiple different shades of black people. We can't produce Neanderthal genes because we don't have it. It doesn't even exist in our blood naturally. The human evolution story in religion is a tool that white supremacists have used to stick themselves into our history because they don't have any. And until y'all can prove where y'all have came from, this is the story that I'm going with, because y'all have failed over and over again to explain your origin.